So we are on chapter 68 of the Boruto manga. Last off, from what we remember, Code kind of foreshadowed that he would be coming to the Leaf Village to confront Amato to help him remove what he calls his limiters, which seems to imply that he's nowhere near his full power, right? Because at his current state, he can't even compete with Kawaki. He needed Damon, I believe is his name, to save him. So let's see how that goes. Chapter 68. Here we go. Page 1. So we see the Hokage's office. You're saying you were resurrected using karma. That's what Momoshiki said. I can't blame you for not believing me. Alright, so Amato and the rest of the Leaf is finding out about what took place with Boruto and his apparent death, which was undone by Momoshiki. But he used the remaining 18%. Apparently about 82% of Momoshiki's data had already finished extracting to rebuild the destroyed parts of my body. I see. Goodness. I suppose that data into another person's components isn't much of a stretch, no matter how mind-blowing that possibility sounds. Wow. If Boruto died, Momoshiki would lose his vessel and his soul would be extinguished. Even an Otsutsuki can't make an omelet without breaking eggs. So Momoshiki sacrificed part of himself to save Boruto and escaped destruction. Yet his soul is still intact. It means Momoshiki lacks the data needed to construct his body. Interesting. They're getting they're getting somewhere here. In fact, yes. Since he'll never regain that data, he'll never be able to resurrect again, right? Interesting. Interesting discussion already. So it seems a silver lining, you could say. However, the problem of him taking over Boruto's consciousness from time to time still remains. We still don't have an outright solution for that. Interesting. So even though he can't resurrect fully, he can still take over Boruto's consciousness, at least in theory, according to Amato. But the meds have been more effective than expected. As long as he keeps taking them, we should be able to suppress Momoshiki's domination long term. Nope, I don't need them anymore. So Boruto's implying that Momoshiki can't take control anymore. How to put it? I feel like something's changed from before. It's hard to describe, but I have this feeling that I can channel his power better now. Interesting. Maybe because he has actual Otsutsuki data on his organic living body now, due to Momoshiki having to heal him from the wound he obtained. Maybe because of that, he's able to control it better, and because of the fact that it seems implied that Momoshiki can no longer control his consciousness, at least from Boruto's statement, or at least he believes that is so. Interesting. Let's continue on. Alright, so now we jump to Kawaki. He's unconscious from expending a lot of chakra, but his life isn't in danger. He's almost fully self-healed thanks to the nano machines in his blood. No obvious external injuries either. But it'd be best to check him out in depth at the lab. Okay. Why did you ask for me rather than Mr. Amato? We need to confirm a few things with that bastard first. Until then, we can't let him near Kawaki. So long as there are no health issues, he stays here. Interesting. So obviously they don't have trust for Amato after Kawaki and Boruto exposed their plan, and after Kawaki seemingly killed Boruto before. Interesting. Let's continue on. You're really planning to leave him unbound when he possesses so much power. The thing is, we can't restrain him even if we wanted to. He could just shrink himself with the Sakuna Hakona and get free. And he can absorb any sealing jutsu using karma. It's no simple thing to physically bind him right now. Yeah, even if they wanted to, the fact that Kawaki has Ishiki powers in general, I think it's safe to imply his power is astronomical compared to most shinobi, right? I mean, Ishiki was a god amongst boys, even compared to Naruto and Sasuke before. Naruto used Baryon mode, that is, of course. And now that Baryon mode is gone, and now that Kurama's gone, seemingly Naruto's is out of his league, at least to our understanding and from what we know currently about his power and his levels. Let's continue on. Conversely, it'd be real bad if we end up antagonizing him. Fortunately, his wish is simple. As long as Naruto is safe, he'll have no beef with us, correct? All we can do now is have faith. Trust him and make sure he stays on our side. That's if we want to stick to peaceful solutions, of course. Well, Shikamaru, I don't think you have an option in that dilemma, because, again, Kawaki's in an astronomical level of power. Yeah, good. That's how Konoha Village does things. Yep. Naruto's still with his light-hearted values, which is good to see in this dark time. Okay, now we can finally get some Sasuke for once. It's been a while since we've seen him, at least to me. So you're okay with it, Naruto? Yeah, we'll have a nice long talk when he wakes up, of course. Did something happen with Lord Seventh? What do you mean? I hope it's just my imagination, but he seems to be brooding over something. He just got back this morning after narrowly escaping death. He's exhausted. You're right. Please forgive me. I have intel. It concerns code whereabouts. Ooh, folks, we're getting in some interesting parts now. Let's see what happens. This is interesting. This is interesting indeed. Let's see what happens. I want to see what Sasuke has to say. Interesting. All right. One of Boruto's cult faculties. I thought we'd hit them all. There's a hidden structure on the edge of the island of snow, in an area considered taboo even by locals. It's apparently a secret facility that only a few of the cult's top brass even know about. Interesting. It seems they engage in inhumane rituals, human experimentation, and an unknown to Kara even scientific ninja tool. R&D, I believe that says. Okay. A particular interest is that it was also a facility, for disposing cyborgs that Jigen had ordered to be scrapped. What's going on, the blue? We are currently learning new things in this new chapter of Boruto. I see. Sounds sufficiently sketchy. Any conclusive evidence that code is there? Nothing definitive, but there's an acquaintance of codes there. A man named Bug. New character alert, huh? Interesting. Got it, alright. I'll order a deployment, since we have no other leads. I heard about Kawaki. I heard about what Kawaki did, excuse me. Is it true? Yeah, he killed Boruto. Oh, Shikamaru, I don't know if you want to tell Sasuke that. Sasuke does not have the same kind of forgiving heart, I'd say. It's even now, as Naruto. So I don't know if that was the smartest of ideas, Shikamaru, considering your IQ. Even if it was to stop Momoshiki, you did it right in front of me and Boruto. Thankfully, Boruto turned out to be okay, but the only other ones who know about it are Ino, Sai, Amato, and Katasuke. We're still deciding how to move forward. Where's Boruto? Interesting. So he decided to tell Sasuke. Maybe he believes Sasuke has changed enough to where he won't act rashly, act out in a illogical manner. Who knows? Sasuke is a very calm and collected individual. Him knowing that Kawaki even possesses Ishiki type-like powers, I'm sure will keep him at bay. He knows how difficult Ishiki was as a opponent, so I'm sure he won't go that far. Let's continue on. He should be with his friends, including Sarada. Go see them. Okay, so I believe now we're jumping to Ida and Code. Be thankful, Code. Your precious Ten-Tails sacrificed Boruto still alive. He was revived using Momoshiki's karma. Interesting. Revived? Are you serious? Okay, so they didn't even know. Hey, Code, maybe like a zombie. Moreover, along the way, it seems the rest of the karma's compressed data was extracted, meaning that Boruto is fully Otsutsuki now. Interesting. They barely found. She was able to put the dots together, of course. Somehow, they shared an exchange that I can't see directly with my Senringan. Interesting. Senringan clairvoyance. I wonder if he's able to communicate with Momoshiki on some sort of spiritual plane. Some sort of eye called the Senringan clairvoyance. Okay, unless that is an ability. Unforeseen would be an understatement, but I'll take that piece of good fortune. Guess it was meant to be. Okay, interesting. Let's see what code and Ida muster up here. You're lucky that Boruto is alive, but I'm honestly fed up with the multiple grandstanding acts you displayed. You took it too far, especially using my little brother without my permission. I didn't really have any other option. Listen, your job is to bring Kawaki to me. It seems Ida is establishing some sort of dominance over Code, and she's very confident she can handle him. Maybe because of Damon himself, who was able to deflect an Ishiki-type attack from Kawaki. Very interesting. Let's continue on. And in return, I'll help you regain your power to aid your own goals, since you're useless to me without the way you are right now. Implying he's weak compared to her, or to the abilities that she's able to use or that Damien's able to use. However, if I determine that even after you gain your strength, you're still useless, incompetent, or simply just a hindrance, we siblings have absolutely no qualms about disposing of you. Consider yourself warned. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Let's continue on. You mean we're not even comrades? How sad. That's business for you. If you don't produce results, you'll lose even this sad relationship. Wow. Did I mention that I already took measures? All that's left is the timing. Interesting. So it shows the Hokage's office, possibly Code wanting to infiltrate the office. Maybe he's confident enough to deal with anyone in Konoha besides Kawaki, who I'm sure he's figured out is probably unconscious. Even so, he knows Boruto's probably in the village as well. He's pretty confident from his statement here, at least from what I am implying. Let's continue. Well, what's the lockdown on Boruto? The lowdown. All right, so now we're back to the good side with Konohamaru and Amato. It sounded far-fetched at first, but the proof is in the pudding. The blood analysis aligns with his explanation. And Momoshiki, can we definitively say he can't resurrect anymore? Yeah, it is 100% impossible. Alright, so it has been determined scientifically by Amato, who seems to be quite the brain, that he no longer can resurrect. Good, that's great actually. By the way, alright, so he seems to be upset with Amato. You know what I want to ask, that's right, about Kawaki's karma. Alright, so he's going to press him about this whole shabacle that they went through when they were confronting Code. Continue on. Alright, so now it shows Boruto back with Sarada and Mitsuki. It doesn't really hurt or anything at all. Hey, watch your hands. Well, it was a pretty close call, but as you can see, I'm fine, though that bastard Code got away. Question, why'd Code try to kill you when he wanted to feed you alive to Ten Tails? You see, that was... Listen up, Boruto. Don't tell anyone that Kawaki killed you, not until we decide what Konoha's policy toward him will be. Alright, so Boruto is remembering what Shikamaru cleverly told him not to tell anybody. Maybe he couldn't control himself. It didn't seem like he thinks too far ahead. Either way, you've become fully Otsutsuki, right? Are you going to be all out targeted now? Yeah, probably. I don't know where he's hiding it, but I won't let him escape next time. That's not what I want. That's not what I meant. I'm saying you need to be extra careful. What if you're attacked when you're by yourself? Sarada's right. Interesting. Let's continue on, folks. Things are heating up. There's Sasuke. He can appear unexpectedly. Don't go anywhere alone, even within the village, though I'm one to talk. Old man Sasuke. Dad. And not just Boruto. Now that Kawaki has enough power to challenge Code will likely stop at nothing to get the limiters on his powers removed, which likely makes his first target Old Man Amato. Sasuke put the dots together, so did Boruto. You restored Kawaki's karma and planted it on your own without his consent nonetheless. Why? It's simple. He fundamentally loathes karma. I probably wouldn't get his consent. and yet he desired power, enough to protect Lord Hokage and chase off enemies. Good point, Yamato. If it weren't for the karma within Kawaki, they could have all been fucking dead. You know? That's true. That's a good point. Continue on. Either way, in order for the karma to remanifest, his intent was absolutely essential. In short, Kawaki himself chose this path. This is the result he wished for. What if he didn't have it when he needed it? That's why I implanted it ahead of time. Wasn't the reason why you were able to survive the latest crisis because you had Kawaki's karma? Am I wrong? Don't dodge the question at hand. Setting aside the result, what you did was not for Konoha or Kawaki's benefit. If you ask me, you seem obsessed with Kawaki's karma itself. Why? What? Oh shit! Oh shit, I see a claw. Son of a bitch, it's code. As expected, he is infiltrating Konoha. Oh shit. Let's continue on. Sorry to interrupt, but I didn't want to waste this prime opportunity. You fool, the conversation was just getting interesting. Oh fuck. Alright, so he casually shoves Shikamaru aside. Holy shit. It's been a while, Amato. You ought to worry about your own welfare. Now, resigned the limiters on my power. You don't want to get hurt, do you? I can't believe you just shut up here. You'll be sent right away, and an army shinobi will be here soon. But I know that all you need to do is look in my eyes and say the command. Only takes seconds, right? How'd he know? Interesting. Alright, he's already being sensed by many shinobi. This chakra, don't tell me it's Amato's lab. Shikamaru. Yeah, he's here, right in front of me. Damn it, we'll send reinforcements. Hold on, Ina. Oh shit. Okay, what's going on here? Just inform Naruto and the others. Don't send anyone here yet. He showed up because it's just us. I don't want to provoke him into running off. Let me handle it. Shikamaru, come on, man. Come on, buddy. But just keep monitoring him. Got it? Wait for my signal. Shadow possession jutsu. Come on, Shikamaru. You fucked with those Suzuki level threats. You know that doesn't do shit. It's useless. I can still move my fingertips enough to slash his carotid open. Hey, Amato. You know my personality, right? I'd hurry up if I were you. Interesting. You thought I wouldn't notice the claw mark on the back of my neck? That I'd fall for such a transparent trap. It's showtime. Wake up, Bronco. What is this Bronco that he speaks of? Oh, son of a bitch! Delta? They remade Delta as one of the good guys. Very interesting. I wonder if she has similar levels of power, or even more so, with Amato in Konoha. Son of a bitch. Delta. She's a new model, reprogrammed to be a battle asset that protects Konoha. Delta, your target is Code. He's an enemy of Konoha. I know. Shut up already. Don't keep screeching like a darn fool. Alright, at least she still has her personality. Interesting. Very interesting, folks. I guess that if I approach Amato with few to no guards, you might show up, Code. It'd be too good of an opportunity for an idiot like you to pass up. I'll spare you my one-hit destructive beams since they'll wreak too much havoc in this closed space. He's right. His right hand went in the claw mark. Bastard, I won't let you escape. So Delta's able to deal with this level of Code at least. Interesting. Escape? Quite the opposite. Oh shit, is Ida coming into the battle now? A comrade of codes. Ada. Oh shit. Alright folks, that's where it ended. Interesting. So, Delta has been reprogrammed to be on Konoha's side. And obviously she's able to deal with Code, but at the very end of the chapter, Ada came in to the mix. Very, very intriguing. I'm liking where it's headed. As far as Naruto and Sasuke, I wonder if they'll make their way into the battle as well. Possibly even not Boruto with his karma. if he's able to control it on a whim. I enjoy what's taking place. I feel like this is more of a transitioning chapter, to be honest, kind of setting up for bigger and better things. Code is trying to get his limiters removed, right? Ada is about to show her power for the first time soon. It seems very implied. She just showed her way in the battle into the mix in the last page there. I did enjoy it. It's a pretty good chapter. We'll see what happens with Kawaki if he's able to successfully use the karma he did the way he did before. Maybe there's a possibility that to try to get it removed, and maybe he'll act out rashly. Who knows? There's a lot of possibilities, a lot of paths that they can take with this chapter and with this trajectory that they're headed in. With Kawaki, Code, Delta not being reprogrammed. With that being a possibility, who knows what else they'll reprogram? Maybe they'll reprogram Boro, maybe Koji, who knows? There's a lot of possibilities. With Amato in their corner, he's able to, reconstruct and even reprogram these cyborgs. So it's very, very interesting. It was a great chapter. I liked this idea of, wanting to protect Kawaki to some extent. Shikamaru might have his doubts about him, but he still wants to protect him to some extent, not wanting to tell the entire village right away. Again, he does respect Naruto's decisions, but he was willing to tell Sasuke. That tells me that he must trust Sasuke's self-control, right? Because Sasuke obviously cares about Boruto. Boruto saved his life on a couple of occasions, or at least one occasion, and he trusts that he won't go after Kawaki, which would be illogical, right? It would cause a lot of ruckus. Naruto wouldn't allow that, but yeah, I think Sasuke's past that. I might retract my previous statement. Yeah, he probably is less forgiving than Naruto, but he is, he's Sasuke Uchiha. Let me change this fucking song. Sorry, folks. I'll go back here. But yeah, folks, that was a good chapter. As far as the themes here, I like what Seth said about the last chapter. This theme of fate, right? Fatalism, and Boruto and Kawaki are both kind of beating and overcoming fate itself, right? With Boruto seemingly having an inevitable conclusion of becoming completely controlled, which he was able to overcome, ironically, with the way he went out, right? With Kawaki severely wounding him to the point where Momoshiki had no choice but to revive him with organic Otsutsuki data. Kawaki kind of overcoming his perceived fate, which was to be Ishiki's vessel, and now, in a way, he has control of Ishiki's power that Ishiki used to use. It's very, very telling. So I do like what Seth pointed out when I reacted to his review on the previous chapter. I didn't want to watch his newest one because I wanted to react organically to this one. So the theme of fate, right? And the next seemingly inevitable fate, or not inevitable maybe, but is seemingly very, very likely, is Code getting his limiters removed, right? And it seems that that'll be the next stage in evolution as far as villains are concerned, right? Because there seemingly is a linear upward trend when it comes to villains. And a lot of people think that Code without his limiters could be stronger than Ishiki, all right? We don't know that for sure. We're not going to find out until he does, or if he does get his limiters removed. Ida is still kind of unknown. Damon is obviously extremely powerful. I mean, the guy fucking reflected an Ishiki type attack like it was fucking nothing and laughed it off and wanted more. So he's clearly very powerful himself. So these cyborgs seem to be the next step in evolution for villains. What I have a feeling when it comes to the karma for Boruto and Kawaki is it'll be similar to Naruto and Kurama. I think as they get a better grasp on the karma and they get a better, who knows, maybe even physical chemistry with it, similar to how Kurama and Naruto did, which allowed them to get in Baryon mode. Maybe they'll get stronger and stronger as time goes on, as they learn to manifest it and as they learn how to control it, right? What I really don't hope is that they become is that Boruto becomes friends with Momoshiki. I believe that would be very forced, right? A lot of people think that could be a possibility where Momoshiki actually starts caring for him, which I think is very unlikely, but it'd be very unfortunate. That'd be very forced. I'd be at that point. I would say, well, you're trying too hard to replicate Naruto, right? I highly doubt it. They've made sure to do things differently with Boruto, right? I mean, his very rise to power is almost a polar opposite of what Naruto went through, right? He seemingly was gifted powers from a very young age, right? And now he's god levels. He didn't earn it, so to speak, the way Naruto did with, the decade plus grind that he went through to get to where he is now, or where he was before the nerf. So I don't think they'll go in that direction, from what I can tell, right? There are some similarities, but there's also differences as well. They want to give this new generation a unique path, at least to some extent. But yeah, I do agree, Luke, this was a W chapter. It was a very good chapter. But overall, I did enjoy it heavily. I really liked, the trajectory that they're headed in. There's going to be hopefully quite the battle. Delta, who knows if she can deal with Ida? It's still unknown. She's very confident when she speaks to Codes. She says, us siblings will just dispose of you like you're trash, right? So she's very confident in defeating Code now, which implies, I have a feeling she'll be at least at Delta's level, if not much higher, right? She seems very confident. Like, nothing has really threatened her to this point. Nothing has really made her eyes widen, so to speak. So she's definitely at another level, I'd say. I think that's safe to say. I really want to see what Sasuke and Naruto are at. We haven't seen that yet, right? We've been waiting for this. It's been kind of implied, like, oh, we're going to get to see what they can do. We haven't seen that yet. Naruto with his Sage Mode, Sasuke with only a Sharingan at his disposal. I really want to see where they stack up. The writers, I think, eventually have to get to it. Right, I think this would be a good time. I thought the best time would be in the previous chapters when Code was there and Naruto showed up. I thought we'd get a glimpse there, but he seemed out of his league, to be honest with you. He seemed out of his league. He was literally saved by Kawaki. It seemed like he would have been fucked. We can't concretely prove that 100% or deny that, but it seemed very implied, which puts him at a certain level, right? I think what the cyborgs represent is seemingly this inevitable next step in the Naruto versus evolution, right? The cyborgs represent something that is not a shinobi, that actually goes against the ninja way, which Naruto would always speak of, right? So thematically, that's what they represent. And with them triumphing in their encounters, it seems that that's where the shinobi world is headed. Unfortunately, that's why it's implied that the shinobi way will end, and that the time skip right at the very beginning of Boruto that we see kind of implies that Kawaki kind of represents that. And Boruto, I believe, is kind of like the last hope for the shinobi way and the legacy that his father and his father left behind, right? So it's very, very interesting. I really like the idea that this duality, right? The duality is different here than it was in OG Naruto. And OG Naruto is about the idea of the never-ending cycle of love and hate, right? And the idea between free will and forced peace, right? Now it's the shinobi way, right, which is hard work and dedication, versus cyborgs and gods, which is privilege and just lack of appreciation for power. That's the duality in Boruto, which is very interesting. So I like how they kept this idea of duality in Boruto. That is a similarity to Naruto, right? And they've kind of kept it going throughout this whole time. It was more apparent when, Momoshiki versus Naruto and Sasuke happened. That was like the clearest it got thematically, right? Because Naruto and Sasuke represented the old way. Momoshiki represented the new way. And in that time period, the old way won, right? Naruto and Sasuke beat Momoshiki because they earned that power. But now it's getting to a point where it's not enough. The old way doesn't suffice in competing with privileged, God-given power, right? It's very interesting. And that's why a lot of viewers hold some kind of resentment towards Boruto as an anime, right? They really revere the old way, the ways of old, the values that were revered in the old era, right? OG Naruto and Naruto Shippuden. But now the writers are kind of saying it's time to move on, right? And a lot of people don't want to accept that. But I guess change is an inevitable thing. It is an inevitable thing, right? It's always going to happen. No matter how great things are. It's just the way it is. I think that's always an interesting thing to think about when thinking of the old anime versus the new anime. And just not just Naruto, but any anime really. But alright folks, I think that is all. This was a good chapter. I'll catch you next time and stay classy.